Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Nina and I have lived in China for 2 years now, and in this video I would like to tell you about the 3 things that will affect your life a lot when you come to live in China. Obviously, each blogger speaks from their personal experience when they share with their audience, and I feel like my experience have been quite different from the YouTubers that I watched. So in this video, I want to give my own perspective and hopefully it will help you guys to form a more balanced opinion on what life in China actually is. So let's get started. So the first thing I would like to talk about is the language barrier. You probably already know that most Chinese people do not speak English, even in some large cities. Even if you go on university campus, most people will not speak English there, including professors. However, I would like to mention that knowing a little bit of Chinese is not necessarily going to help you. And here's what I mean. So I have been studying Chinese for several years now, and I passed HSK 4, and my teachers, both native and non-native speakers, always tell me that my pronunciation and accent are quite good and I perform well in the classroom. However, the moment I go outside of the classroom and start speaking to people around me, I cannot communicate with them. Even though I don't seem to be making any mistakes, the local people just don't understand what I'm trying to say. And honestly, at this point, I have given up on the language and I just use Baidu Translation app for everything, even some simple things. I feel like for effective communication with local Chinese people, your level of Chinese has to be very high. Not to mention that most Chinese people speak their local accents and dialects, which is gonna make it hard for you to understand them and for them to understand you, because their language is very different from the standard Mandarin that we're all attempting to learn. At the same time, I know many foreigners who speak Chinese language very well, so I guess it comes down to your ability to learn a language. And honestly, Chinese language is so different from European languages. Like if you know German, French, English, Spanish, and then you go to China and you attempt to learn the Chinese language, you're gonna be shocked at how different it is. And this is gonna bring a lot of difficulties into your learning process. The second thing that I want to talk about is food. So I know a lot of foreigners living in China from all over the world. That is, I know people from Europe, Asia, Africa, the Americas, and Australia and New Zealand. And I have personally concluded that there are 3 types of foreigners in the sense of their attitude towards Chinese food. So the first group are the foreigners who love Chinese food, who eat it all the time, and they enjoy trying new Chinese dishes, and they really love it. The second group of people are the people who are really excited about the Chinese cuisine at first. However, after living for several months or maybe half a year in China, they started missing their home country food a lot, and now they're kind of struggling. And the third group of people are the people who cannot tolerate Chinese food at all. Me personally, I fall into the third group. Like, I never liked Chinese food, I was never excited about it. And after living in China for 2 years, I still don't eat Chinese food much. Most people, however, fall into the second group. The people who ate a lot of Chinese food at first, but then eventually they got tired of it and they're craving their home country food. And the truth is, if you move to China at, say, age of 20 for your studies, for example, it means that for 20 years of your life, since early childhood, you have been eating a certain type of food, a certain cuisine. And then suddenly you move to another country and the cuisine changes completely. And the odds are you're not be fully accustomed to local Chinese food. Unless you move to China at the age of, say, 5, you will probably never be able to fully embrace Chinese cuisine. Of course, this depends on people, but I would say generally that is the case because this is just how our food behavior works. Like the kind of foods we eat in our childhood pretty much define what we're gonna eat later in our older age. And here's where the third thing comes in. Life in China is cheap if you eat local Chinese food all the time. So I see bloggers saying that they spend less than 2,000 yuan per month on food, and this is a very realistic number if you eat local Chinese food only. So you can easily find local breakfast, lunch, and dinner, each meal costing less than 20 yuan, so that would make it 1,800 yuan per month. However, I personally spend 3,000 to 3,500 yuan per month on food because I don't eat Chinese food and I'm always trying to find European style or Western style foods, and they're definitely more expensive. And the truth is, sometimes the experience is not very satisfying because if you see an Italian restaurant in China, it'll most likely be Italian-like food but with a Chinese twist, which can be really frustrating sometimes. So these are all the things that I wanted to share in this video. This is my personal experience, my honest opinion on life in China. I hope it was useful for you, and please share your own experience in the comment section below. And if you have any questions about life in China, please let me know. I would love to interact with you, and see you!